How's it going, guys? Dustin at Daily Grind Fantasy, and we are doing a stream now. We're not doing a YouTube video. Almost started like I was doing a YouTube video, but that doesn't really matter, right? We're here to snipe value. That's what we're going to be doing here on this stream. Whether it was a YouTube video or a stream, I was probably going to be doing the same exact thing, finding the best plays on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, which is what I have up in front of me. Also, we have our DFS correlation tool that gives you fully correlated slips across all your favorite DFS apps and sports there. If you guys are unaware about Daily Grind Fantasy, first time watching a stream or don't know how the tools work, you guys are going to find out today about how they work, how we compare sportsbooks, lines, and odds directly back to PrizePicks or any of these other DFS apps, Underdog, ParlayPlay, etc. And very, very profitable strategy. As you guys can see, Tommy Coates says, huge shout out to you guys and Alex Monahan. Alex is a GOAT. Up 111 units this month. Let's go. Is this guy's hit 225x and a 10x? Yeah, pretty back-to-back. So, no, been kind of balling out, all of which have been posted somewhere via social media, Discord, YouTube, Twitter, etc. Fun fact, I just checked my picket. I'm actually up 100 units myself this month, 106 units this month. All I have to do is not lose 6 units today, and I have a 100-unit month, which would be nuts. So I'm not going to scale back my volume or anything like that. If it happens, it happens. But, yeah, it'd be kind of sick if I could do that. So, Tommy, hope you end up 100+ this month. That'd be sick. Anybody that's just coming in, hit the like on the stream. Guys, anytime you're watching the stream, the least you could do, help us out. Hit the like button. We would appreciate it. Anything on our streams or our tweets, free to hit the like button. So we do appreciate it. If you guys don't have access to Daily Grind Fantasy yet, linked in the description of this stream, you guys can get access to that. And if you're not signed up on any of these DFS apps, code DGF is going to get you 100% deposit match up to $100. Do I hit? It's a great question. What should your unit size be? Well, we preached kind of a general rule. Maybe you could set your unit size, off of this. I don't know how much you have in your DFS accounts or betting accounts, etc. But general rule is you never want to play more than 1% of your bankroll on a play, right? So let's just say you have $500. Your unit should be $5. So one bet, basically $5, essentially. Because you like on PrizePicks, you can't do like half a unit plays or anything like that with a $5 unit. But you get what I'm saying. So if you have $500, probably $5 would be your unit size. Miles, I'm not quite sure what's going on there, man. Maybe shoot me a DM on Twitter, and I could look maybe more into it. I have no clue about what's going on there. Are there any tools/videos to help if I sign up with Daily Grind Fantasy? Seems fairly straightforward, but I want to make sure I know everything I am doing or can do. Jonathan, you are my favorite person, or at least my favorite type of person. Let me pull up our YouTube really quick. And I'm going to tell you why you're like my favorite person. Because, yes, we do have this playlist right here, DFS 101 Tips and Strategy. This is going to go ahead and have basically everything you need, right? How to use our tools. There's tutorials on using each tool. Kind of our strategies, like this is how I made, 5,000 in a month, or let's see what else. How to take advantage of the sign-up bonuses. TJ talking about his wins on a big month and such. Why line shopping is important, which essentially is what we're doing here. That's a video by me. This is a really good video by Matt, Full-Time Sports Betting, how to actually make money. I suggest watching that. It's a strategy of betting called plus EV betting that we do. The optimizer just helps us do it, right? So basically, profitable betting is what we now say essentially for plus EV betting, because you're just trying to find plays that are going to be profitable over the long term and play plays with an edge that are going to be profitable over the long term, and play them on these apps like PrizePicks and such these set payout platforms that you can really take advantage of by getting some of these plays that are heavily juiced on sportsbooks or the sportsbooks, this market with $1 million models and everything that's been profitable forever, that sets these lines and odds, and then sharp money, changes these lines in one direction or another, and we can base our thoughts and our research off of just that, because all these sportsbook lines and odds take into consideration everything you think you know and more, right? They know it all. These sportsbooks know it all. Their models know it all. They know LeBron's hit 12 out of the last 15 games. They know who he's matching up against tonight, etc., right? They already know it. It's baked into these lines and odds. They're favoriting these plays for a reason on one side or the other. So taking into consideration the overs and unders for these player props, we were able to find the true fair odds percentage for these plays to hit. So like on PrizePicks, you need average fair odds percentage on each individual leg of a 5 flex to be above 54.3% in order to be profitable over the long term, right? So all of these plays, if you put these top plays in it, you'd be well above that 54.34. Even if you put a couple of these in, you came down here, took a 54.2 play, that average fair odds percentage is going to be above that. So you're wanting to find these plays with an edge, that much of an edge, because in order to be profitable playing 5-man flexes on PrizePicks, you have to hit your individual props at above a 54.3% win rate, right? So that's what the goal is here, right? And ROI is what we focus on. We're not focused on losing or winning 1 or 5 bets, right? It's all about volume and ROI. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent there, you guys. I hopefully this is helping some of you guys, but my whole point was, yes, we have plenty of videos and such on the YouTube channel that you should be taking advantage of and listening to. And if you guys truly want to become profitable sports bettors, like Miles that was Jonathan had mentioned, I want to fully be able to understand what I'm doing and how it works before I jump right in. I love that, because that's what's going to make you successful over the long term. If you are somebody that's coming in here looking to win the 1-5 flex I'm going to give out today, or not one, but the 5 flex, or win all these slips today, that's just unfortunately not going to happen, and that's not how profitable betting is going to work, right? There's going to be wins, there's going to be losses, and you have to learn about this process before coming into it. Otherwise, you're going to quit after 3 days of losing, right? There's been days where I've went 4 or 5 days losing streaks without profiting a day. But bankroll management and everything we've talked about, and this strategy, how it works with volume and bankroll management, playing these plus EV plays will come. Math is math, right? It's going to math. So therefore, you're eventually going to have that positive variance, because negative variance comes, positive variance also comes as well. So highly suggest checking out the YouTube videos if you guys are jumping into Daily Grind Fantasy. Like I mentioned, you guys can get access to the tools linked in the description below. 78 people in here, only 12 likes. That makes me sad. I'm going to catch up on chat, then we're going to start building out plays, because I know that's what most of you guys are here for. Some of you guys already know all the stuff I'm talking about, and if you do, good for you. Hopefully you guys are putting it all to use. Let's see. Do you do different unit sizes based on game, like Fliff bet? Like Fliff, you bet more because it's straight bet, less on parlays. I mean, yeah, essentially you kind of can. Like, Fliff being straight bets, of course, are easier to hit, right? Parlays less easier to hit. So sometimes, like on a parlay or a prize pick slip, also it's technically a parlay, I'll do 0.5 units, right, instead of a full unit or something like that. But like Fliff is basically all full unit plays for me. Yes, sir, Miles. I got you. I'll check it out here in a little bit. What's the best time of the day to make picks? Honestly, I wouldn't say there is a best time of day. If anything, okay, I slightly take that back, but I don't. I would say maybe right around 5 to 7:30 at night these days with NBA, how NBA is every single day now, and no injury news and lineup news is so crucial to any other sport other than the NBA. Like, NBA is huge. If you can get value based off of injury news or lineup news that somebody's starting or not starting and be able to get those into your slips, that's insane and a huge reason why you can be profitable and exploit NBA betting based off of those, right? Because when injury news happens or gets released or lineups get released around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the sports books, I'm pointing like you guys can see me pointing, the sports books right here adjust their lines and odds to whatever that news might be, right? If LeBron James goes out, it's probably likely Anthony Davis's points line should be a lot higher because he's going to be carrying the bulk of the offense, or something like that. So these sports books adjust. They bump Anthony Davis from, let's just use this, 28.5 to 31.5 points. But you look on PrizePicks, what the heck? Anthony Davis still at 28.5 points, but you have 5 sports books telling you that this should be set to 31.5. Take the over at 28.5, duh, because PrizePicks is obviously off in comparison to the market and they're too low. That happens all the time in NBA right now. So I would say right around then is probably the best time currently because of that news. But as far as just plus EV plays in general, you never know when props are getting added to PrizePicks, when sportsbooks are dropping their lines and odds. Value pops up all throughout the day, right? So the more you guys can refresh, the more you guys can get those email notifications, or if you have them turned on, hear from the website, and find these plus EV plays, get them in at volume, the better you're going to be. So I wouldn't say there's an exact time. Sweet, thanks. Definitely watch. I liked it. Let's go, Sano. Attaboy. You should have already liked it. So if I had to tell you to like it 4 times before you liked it, I'm going to beat you up. Justin, not sure about that. Ben Roberts wants to know, is there a Discord? So we have a premium picks Discord where if you sign up using any of our codes for these DFS apps, we'll go ahead and get you in for free. Simple as that. Use code DGF, we'll get you in. If you guys don't have Sleeper, though, and you can use code DUSTIN on Sleeper, I would appreciate it. And if you guys shoot me a DM on Twitter if you're using code DUSTIN on Sleeper, or if you send me it using code DGF on something else, I will go ahead and get you guys an invite to the Premium Picks Discord. But, yeah, like I said, code Dustin on Sleeper, code DGF everywhere else. Would appreciate it if you guys use the codes. Now, Chucky says, what would you consider? Guys, I really do appreciate all these questions right now because I know a lot of people need to hear this stuff. I know a lot of people are here for picks, but I feel like we're having a really good session of questions where you guys are actually learning, hopefully, and retaining and putting this information to use based off these questions, because these live streams, that's what it's for, man. Like, building plays is fun and all, but being able to teach and have you guys interact is huge, because our goal here at DGF is to help you guys become profitable sports bettors. So Chucky says, what would you consider a high probability pick to go full unit size compared to maybe like a half unit? Well, you got to think about it. Like sometimes we're just scraping that 54.34% or whatever. That might be like a half unit play on like a parlay, right? But if I have like 56%ers and 55s and I throw a 54 in, like that's a very, very good edge on a slip there, considering that slip is probably like average fair odds percentage, probably like 56%, as opposed to that bottom-ish 53.4, 54.3%. Then if it's closer to that, then maybe a half unit, just because it's not as big of an edge on the entire slip, if that makes sense. Something like that. Jonah, they're not necessarily equal. They're just decimal points off. It's like 54.26 and 54.34 or something like that. So at that point, it's decimal points. If you want to play 6-mans, 25x, have at it. I play some 6-mans. I play mostly 5-mans. I like playing the 5-mans. I see good success playing the 5-mans personally. So at that point, it's really up to you. 5 and 6-mans are just the most profitable, just a couple decimal points. Because you have to think about the insurance on each of those slips too. Let's see. When you guys send flip parlays for a max bet, if there's an edge on each leg, yeah, like there's times where I'll play a play in a parlay and play it straight up as well, but you just have to be careful. You don't want to put too much of your eggs into one basket, right? Because if that one play misses, you lose your parlay on flip and you lose your straight bet. So you don't want to put all. It's basically not overexposing. So it's kind of up to you. Some of it's up to you, right? What you're comfortable with, what you're overexposing to. If you are overexposing at all, I don't suggest playing multiple plays like that all the time. But sometimes if there's a big enough edge, you play it straight, play it in the parlay, whatever it might be. Can you explain the Breton's market width? How many parlays a day? How many parlays a day should you do to be profitable? So on a 5, like what odds props should we be targeting? Sorry, I'm just trying to. It seems like a lot of these are about the same things. Miles, yeah. So like, there's something called the Kelly Criterion calculator. If you guys look up the Kelly Criterion like betting method, essentially it'll tell you what you should be putting on what odds. Yes, something that like Matt kind of has done and kind of came up with that I've kind of been doing more so on plays like that is like I have my targeted return. So let's say like Matt used an example of like if you're I think it was like $10 unit sizes. I think he said $10 unit sizes, and you want to return at least $20 on every single bet, straight bet you make on Fliff. If it's a plus 300, and you put X amount to get that minimum payout that you're looking for at $20, right? So it might be $4 or whatever it might be to get that return, if that makes sense. But there's an actual method that you can do a calculator for what odds and your bankroll, and it'll tell you how much you should be putting onto it. So yes, you are right as far as that goes. Somebody said 5 and 6-mans. What odds props should I be targeting? So for 5 and 6-man flexes, they're decimal points away from each other as far as like what's plus EV in those slip types. 54.26% for 6 legs, and then 54.34% for 5-mans. So like you can build out a slip. Like we could build out a slip right here. Take these. Take these 3, 54.5, 54.6, 54.8. Let's say these ones don't even exist, right? We could come down here to a 54.24% play and round out our slip with that. And even though that's below that 54.26, 54.3 percentage, the average, if you take all of these percentages and average them, it's going to be above that 54.3%, right? That's what you're looking for. Ben, currently there is not a free trial going for any of these tools. So no, unfortunately not. But you guys can do get access to it. Linked in the description of this live stream. I have access to the correlation tool and to the optimizer here. The optimizer also comes with the middling tool where it compares DFS apps to DFS apps. You can find some value that way and also look to middle plays. Nate says that's obvious. I wouldn't say it is. I mean, a lot of people don't know how this stuff works. I mean, that's why we do what we do, trying to teach people, etc. Let's go ahead and see. 5-leg. So on UD, I personally play like only 3-mans on UD for the most part, but 5-pick insured is going to be the better play as far as the 5-pick insured and non-insured. Oh, speaking of that, hold on. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, hold on. Keon Coleman over 3.5. Over 3.5 receptions. Direct comparison to UD. Brendan Presley over 6.5. He's set to 7.5. Now remember, this is direct comparison to only UD. Like, we don't have a bunch of sports books backing this up, so be a little weary. Worthy's at 5.5. Set to 4.5. Some juice on the over here. I know that I have Worthy over in a correlation slip. I think I might go with Keenan Allen here under 8.5 receptions, still at 55%, and I have more book backing. So I'm going to take these two, and then I'm going to go ahead and take Keenan Allen on Underdog. Oh, wait. It's been bumped. All right, it literally just got bumped in front of our eyes. I'm gonna replace it with Gerald Everett over 2.5. Boom. There it is. Haven't seen it yet, so no. You're telling me there's a Johnny Wilson under. I did put in the chat that slip that I just made. There's a Johnny Wilson under on... How low is this? Did I miss it? Oh, it's right here. Under 4 receptions. So no, get out of here. Get out of here. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, so we do have Fliff that's came on now. Has it set to 6.5 as well with heavy juice on the over of 6.5. So I still like that. Being that we just got it at 6.5 on the books. Or sorry, on Underdog. Now we do have some plays here. Brendan Presley under 7. The only reason why I don't want to take that is because it's in the middle of both of these projections right here, which seems to be at the moment probably the most accurate projection, and we already have the over 6.5. So when we have 3 like this and we have this one in the middle, I don't necessarily prefer taking that, right? So let's go ahead. Sorry, this... Hold on. Am I tripping? All right, let's go ahead and start building from here down. Let's go ahead and get Mr. Jerami Grant under 31.5. Looks like DraftKings is the lowest here at 28.5, almost 2 full points lower than these two, and they are also 1.5 off. So it seems to be pretty solid. Let's pull this up real quick. This is the fantasy score screen where we see the average. So it seems to be off by about 1.9 fantasy score. Obviously, these two books are in agreement that it's off by about 1.5-ish. And then DraftKings much lower. So Grant under. Strus is going to be off too. That's going to be one of our plays. DraftKings really, really low on some fantasy scores today. And guys, we don't have We know that DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM don't have fantasy score markets, right, for NBA. But by taking into consideration the even lines for the player props that make up fantasy score here on PrizePicks, we are able to then on the back end create this fantasy score projection for these sports books, as long as they have all of these needed stats to make up this fantasy score projection, right? Okay, so that's gone out of here anyway. So let's get Grant in, Struce in. We'll get Johnny Wilson in. Don't you worry. I'm not rooting on it for the most part. I want us to win some money, but I need my Seminoles to win. I'd rather lose a unit on this play than see the Seminoles lose. So just know that, guys. I'm rooting on it. If Johnny Wilson can go under and the Seminoles is what I'm saying by we still win, I'm all for it. I am all for it. Struce under fantasy score. Bobiskid over 28.5. Bob. I'm just going to call him Bob and CS2, and I'll explain why that's a good play here. These niche markets can really be taken advantage of. Over 28.5. Johnny Wilson under 4, set to 3.5 on the sports books. Pains me, but hey, I'm just following the data. I'm following math, guys. We put math over feelings, and my feelings will be extremely hurt if FSU gets left out of the playoff. So do know that I will be crying on Sunday night if that does happen. Probably will not show up here on stream for Monday morning. If we got to win, obviously. Got to win. DeAndre Ayton under. No, I don't want to take Grant and Ayton. Already played Franklin. Draymond Green under 29.5. Fantasy score. Get out of here, TJ. Well, don't you have to go build a bed frame or something, buddy? Well, I'm not even in the right. All right, let's see. Draymond Green under fantasy score. And I'm going to give us a refresh before I do. Just go ahead and enter that in there. Make sure we're not missing in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and lock that in then. All unders besides the one CS2 play. It's going to be an over. Go ahead and link this into the chat for you guys that would like to tail. Bango, got that locked in. All right. So we just got some Underdog. We just got some prize picks. God, I love Keon Coleman so much. Look at that. 1 over, 1 under. Tough scenes. Uh-oh. The people aren't going to like this one. People aren't going to like these two. Uh-oh. Parlay play. It's got some value. People aren't going to like it. People aren't going to like it, but we're going to have to talk about it. We're going to have to talk about it, and we're going to have to enter it. Jalen Hurts, Tony Pollard, both to not score a rushing touchdown. Guys, not all books have an over and under for these rushing touchdown plays props, right? Most of the time you can just choose yes for the over. Fliff and a few other books do sometimes have the overs and unders. Thus, we can go ahead and calculate the true odds percent to hit for these plays. Fliff, minus 165 on the under, minus 160 on the under for Tony Pollard. Obviously, you see DraftKings, Tony Pollard under at minus 135, but average between the two that we do have to go off of. Both average odds of minus 147. Still a plus EV play here on ParlayPlay. If you guys aren't signed up for ParlayPlay, code DGF will get you 100% deposit match up to $100. We're looking for this same exact as PrizePicks for a 6-flex. As ParlayPlay's 6-flex is the same exact payout. So above that 54.3-ish% is what we're looking for. So we could build out a slip. Jerami Grant under 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He set the 27.5 on all the sports books. We get him one higher. Obviously, FanDuel has it set to 28, but the rest of the market, so the 6 other sports books, are agreeing that this should be set lower at 27. We get it at 28. Tyler Lockett under 4.5 receptions. Under 4.5 receptions. That's actually tonight. Logan Cooley under 0.5 points. Might have been bumped. Okay, hold on. Xavier Worthy. I already said we've already played. Okay, Jimmy Butler under 5 assists. Yeah, he's getting set to 4.5 on multiple sports books. Heavily juiced under 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and take Jimmy Butler under 5 assists. Jimmy Butt Cheeks. And then Caden Salter over 47.5 rush yards. I think that's going to be our last play. That was Caden Salter over 47.5. All right. Yeah, so that's going to be it. There's no payout shift or anything like that. So we have Jalen Hurts under 0.5 rushing touchdowns. We have Tony Pollard under 0.5 total rushing touchdowns. Jerami Grant under 28.5 PRA. Tyler Lockett under 4.5 receptions. We have Jimmy Butler under 5 assists. And Caden Salter over 47.5 rushing yards. It's going to round out the ParlayPlay slip. All right. All right, we just cooked. Oh, I thought you were laughing at the value on PrizePicks right now, Coop, for a second. All right. Somebody real quick asked for Fliff. I'm going to check here, see what we got on Fliff. So, I mean, you have some of these, longer shot plays being the, big alt spreads for some of these NBA games. A decent play here, Vegas Golden Knights under 2.5 total team total in regulation, under 135, under 2.5 at plus 135, plus 115 and plus 114 on 2 other sports books. Let's see if there's some player props maybe that Richie Grant's looking to be a solid play. If this comes up a little bit higher, this comes up maybe a little bit higher, it's going to get there. Still a slight bit of an edge taking into consideration those 3 sports books and what they're at. Okay, yes. So we have some League of Legends. What teams are these on? Let's see. And are we going to be... Let's try and middle these. Of course, we want to play the opposites on each side. So Pandak in League of Legends. taking the over. So he's on R and G, I think it was, and then XZZ. We're looking for some correlation. Sweet. So taking 2 overs on the same team is going to be some positive correlation. If we can find maybe an under on the opposite side, that'd be great. Let me see. Is ZJJ on the same team or on the other team? I don't think it is. I think they're going to be on the same exact team. Okay. Let's go with Maggie on the over 5. Different matchup. Did I spell ZJ? Oh, let's go. That's on the under, right? For Weibo. Yes. All right. Sweet. So we're looking solid right now. Hang on. And then that's probably not gonna work. Let's see. Luca, Maggie, Red Wall. Oh, Zao, I think it is pronounced. All right. So we have, let's see, let me double check this. We have RNG on the overs. Maggie was kind of the one off, and then we have Weibo on the unders. So yeah, this is a really good correlated slip in League of Legends here, where we're taking 2 overs on the same team against 2 unders on the same team, going up against them. Therefore, some positive correlation. So XZZ just got bumped for RNG to 8.5. Still off in comparison to Underdog. Let's do it. We got the positive correlation. If we can go ahead and get this off, I'm still going to take it. All right, got it. So it's not as great, not getting it at 8, obviously, but still a solid play. Yeah. So some positive correlation in League of Legends. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, let me see. Miles, I'm not going to get into taxes and stuff right now. Jimmy Butler off PrizePicks already. Sheesh. Justin, I had mentioned it earlier. I don't know if you were in here or if you're still like kind of curious, but like by having the overs and unders on these sports books for these sportsbook plays, at least let's say, where we have these overs and unders, we're able to calculate what the fair odds percentage, what the actual percentage is for that play to hit by removing the juice from the sports books to get that fair odds percentage. It's kind of how we do it, and that math is done all here on the back end, which is part of what you're paying for in a DGF subscription, right? That math to be done quickly and efficiently for you to be able to find these plays. Yeah, so real quick, the middling tool, I am going to have to get off here in just a few minutes. But real quick, the middling tool, where we compare DFS apps to DFS apps. So sportsbooks not really on this screen, right? This is just comparing what the lines are across these DFS apps, right? So it's also made to be able to middle these plays, right? Like I probably should have been using it it would have probably made things a lot easier for me just looking at it. If I could have just middled like this, right? And we could still go over onto Underdog right now. It's probably what we should be doing is going to go ahead and play the, if we played Milky Way, right? We played the over of 6.5, We play the under of 7.5. So we play the over 6.5 on PrizePicks, under 7.5 on Underdog. That leaves us a percentage chance. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not projecting it or stating that this person's ending at 7 kills. We're saying there's a percentage chance, and it is still good enough for us to be able to do that and have a chance to win both bets, not just win one, right? Obviously, if you win one, you can still have a slip alive. Awesome. But you could have a chance to win both bets by placing the over and the under on the opposite side, right? Because there is a discrepancy in the middle. Because we only have these two projections from these two sports books to go off of, they both set lines independently. It's pretty safe to assume that the middle is the most accurate projection, right? These aren't the craziest of middles, but in League of Legends, we just had 2 kills for whatever, XZZ. And 2 kills in League of Legends moves the needle a lot, right? It's not easy to do. Hence why these kill projections are low, right? So there is that still a solid percentage chance for that to hit within the middle of those 2 kills, and you're profitable on both sides. So that's kind of like what you should be using the middling tool for. You can also, scan, the sports books, see like, boom, right now hot streak is off in comparison to the market. They're set to 14.5. DeAndre Ayton points, he's set to 13.5 here. Julian Love's tackles, they're off by a whole tackle here. So that's how you can find some value as well and some discrepancies when using this tool. So, Ben, the optimizer and the middling tool are combined. It's called the fantasy bundle. So that would technically, there's not like a separate thing that all comes together, and that comes also with the fantasy score screen. The correlation tool. Somebody said, "Can we have a correlated slip?" Miles, that I actually really love you guys today because you guys have really asked questions and tried hard to learn and take all of this information in to become profitable sports bettors. So I say yes. I say yes, we will give out a correlated slip. And you know what? I'm going to pick it. I am going to pick this Florida State-Louisville game to give because obviously Florida State, right? Obviously. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this. It's going to be on UD. It's not going to be on PrizePicks. So I do apologize for anybody that doesn't have it, but this is what we're going to rock. This is what we're going to rock. I'm just going to leave it up. I'm just going to throw it in here on my phone right now. Jack Plummer, and we'll talk about why this is positively correlated. Then I do have to run. Jack Plummer, I hope he's not throwing 2 passing touchdowns low key, but like I said, he can throw 2 touchdowns as long as we win. That's all I care. Tate Rodemaker. Over 192.5. Gosh, Oh, no. Did he get removed? Oh, no. I'm tripping. Over 192.5. We'll talk about why it's correlated in 1 second. I'm just kind of entering them in. All right, so that's going to be in a 5-man non-insured slip, right, on Underdog. So we're taking Jack Plummer over 1.5 passing touchdowns. If Jack Plummer's going over 1.5 passing touchdowns, it's likely they're moving the ball pretty well on offense. Chris Bell's likely to go over 27.5 receiving yards if they're moving the ball good on offense. He's throwing touchdowns. You don't know how long those touchdowns are for. Maybe there's one to Chris Bell for 28 yards. Knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. Jamari Thrash, over 4.5 receptions if they're moving the ball. They're throwing the ball too as well. Hopefully to Jamari Thrash to go over 4.5 receptions. On the flip side, Tate Rodemaker over 192.5 passing yards. And then Keon Coleman over 3.5 receptions. So Rodemaker, if he's going over 192.5, he's probably throwing the ball to one of his top targets in Keon Coleman. And Keon Coleman's going over 3.5 catches if Roadmakers going over 192.5 yards. It's not going to always happen, right? But we're saying that these plays, when played together, are likely to happen when played together. And we play this on Underdog because it's an edge, the fact that we are able to correlate these plays on Underdog as opposed to playing them in a same game parlay on like FanDuel or such, where you're going to be getting docked payout putting these together, because FanDuel knows there's an edge by playing them together. So they'll dock your payout. But Underdog, PrizePicks doesn't do that. We are able to play these positively correlated slips. So yeah, we have all these here on the correlation tool. That's also linked in the description, as well as the fantasy bundle. But, oh, Andrew, that's on me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my state doesn't have parlays. Just the props on the house is the best. You want to be extra nice and give us a pro sports correlated slips too? Oh my god, I just shot myself in the foot. All right, you guys keep this here then, okay? All right, don't be telling everybody that I gave you 2 now, okay? I'm gonna do it because you guys were so awesome this stream. All right, screw it. Let's give the Dolphins Commanders. Don't get yourself. No, I won't get fired. Believe me. But yeah, we'll give Dolphins Commanders. I'm just gonna show it. I'm not really gonna talk too much about it. So screenshot if you guys want to screenshot. Get it in. I do have to get off the stream though, so I'm not trying to rush. But you guys are right. I'm sorry. I forgot some people can't do college. So here's the NFL one. Howell overpass yards. Tua overpass yards, Curtis Samuel over receiving yards, Waddle, McLaurin, and Tyreek Hill all over receiving yards. High-flying offense. 2 of the more crazier offenses in the NFL. I mean, Sam Howell's been putting up a ton of yards. So that's kind of the game script you're rooting on. If Howell's going over, it's likely Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin are going over there. Receiving yards, although we did miss Terry McLaurin by like 7 yards on a correlated slip on like a Thursday night football game from the Commanders, and a little scarred from that. But McLaurin's going to get the job done. Tyreek Hill, Waddle, obviously likely to go over their totals if Tua's going over 282, throwing for almost 300 yards. Bada bing, bada boom. The Coop. I'm sorry. Not going to show another one currently on this. But yeah. Good luck at the game, though. Have fun, for sure. All right, guys. I love you guys. I do have to run. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are tailing these slips. Hopefully cash out at least one of these slips we've built out today. That would be great. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, at SportsByDustin on Twitter. Once again, last time, linked in the description. You guys get access to all the tools here at Daily Grind Fantasy. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.